It's been 16 years since this happened. With 2 days to go on my probation, I was pulled in front of the HR person, the acting supervisor, and the union president who sat there and said nothing. They told me that,
This is a termination hearing.
and this was really disappointing. The HR person was black. I said, what? Why? I'm still on probation.
Well, there's been some problem with your performance, and you've done some things that are just unacceptable.
They accused me of,
Flooding some area.
I told them I never did it. And they also said,
You went around the chain of command.
see, what this involved was that someone downtown sent an email out about doing these walks to raise money, and he needed someone to take his place. So I emailed him telling him I'm interested in participating in his walk. Next thing I know, I'm in charge of it, which is fine. You know, I put together a team, but apparently the guy said I needed to go through him, and they accused me of going outside the chain of command. Then they told me that I didn't have my overview book signed. What's an overview book?
Well, you know, playing dumb isn't going to do it. You shouldn't have signed these forms.
Wait a minute, that's not my signature. At that time, I had my overalls on, and I never had my wallet on me, but I had it that day, and I showed her my driver's license. On that date, I wasn't even there. I was back in Kansas City for a funeral. Ticket stubs were in my wallet.
Well, you shouldn't have signed for it.
And then she brings out another paper, and that signature doesn't match the first one or my driver's license.
Well, what about your overview book? You signed for
I
it?
never got an overview book. The signature in that overview book wasn't even my signature. Over the next 12 hours, I called the trainer 18 times for a signature, and I have a person who I was working with that can vouch for me. I said, I also don't have any signatures in my primary book, yet I do the work. I do probes.
Who taught him how to do probes? Who signed for it? Who taught him how to dump grit? Go and find the trainer and get me an overview book.
At that point, she has the nerve to come over to me and say,
What do you think has caused all of this?
and I say, I tell you what caused all this. I was working over at ACC1, and the people working over there started talking about someone and using the N-word. And I don't mean Nantucket. They were making jokes about him. Finally, I said, as a black man, I don't appreciate the use of that word. I don't like it from my own people, and I really don't like it from you. I find it very offensive.
We didn't know you were black. We thought you were Hispanic.
After hearing this, she turned to the others.
Do you have anything to say to this?
I mean, we wouldn't have said it if we'd known he was black.
He admitted it right there. One of the other people ended up quitting. The other said they'd apologize. So then I was told that I wasn't being terminated, but they extended my probation another 3 months. I was told to have the overview book done at the end of October. That's fine, but if no one's gonna train me, she assured me that I was going to be trained. All this other stuff, she said they were gonna investigate what happened to me. And to tell you the truth, I was feeling good about it because this is a black woman, so she knows what it is. And how that's the worst word you can use, period, of any race. I mean, they're all extremely offensive, but when it's a person who feels very relaxed about using it, how it rolls off their tongue. So she says, I'm gonna call and check on you next week. A week goes by and she calls, asks me, how's everything going? I said, nothing's changed. I haven't learned anything. No one has taught me. Everything I'm learning, I learn on my own, or I come in early and ask people. And I went through the whole month of October, really no training. On the last night in October, the overview book is due. She comes over, signs the book. At the same time, there were 4 positions open at the plant, and there was an opening off-site. Well, I know I'm not gonna get anything in here, because they're spreading my name through the mud like you wouldn't believe, so I put in for off-site. I didn't expect it to go anywhere. I actually expected to go back to day ops. Because off-site is where everybody wanted to go. The supervisor there calls me in. He introduced me to the off-site supervisor and told me, you got off-site. I said, why? I'm still on this probation. And they explained that they went by attendance. I have never had a call-in, never had unscheduled benefit time. I still haven't in 16 years. I've been lucky on that. They went back 6 months to check. I had none. The other person had 7. Another person filed a grievance with the union. I walked in when somebody was asking why he filed a grievance, and he said, because I'm not going to have some N-word getting it over a guy who should get it. I just turned around and left. And then I heard from the HR person. And she said, since I got this off-site position, they were just going to let the other stuff go. They had said that everything had worked out for me. You know, and to hear that really just puts a sinking feeling in you. It really does. Because what's going to happen to the next person who comes in and is black? There was nothing I could do. At that time, I didn't know there was anything that I could do. I stayed off-site for a couple years, then came back to the plant. But just to have to go through that, and the fact that they got away with it, that really was disappointing.